Good morning, Patti Sanders here with Earthworks. We're down in St. Augustine working at the Stacy Scalin residence. It is a huge house down here close to the beach. So a lot of the plant material that we decided to choose, we're actually removing some old plant material and replacing with new plant material. And what we have to keep in mind is they have to be salt resistant. So a lot of the plants that we chose are salt resistant. We've actually changed the drawing, I think, at least twice pretty majorly, but mostly not design wise, but mainly just plant material that the homeowner wanted to have a little bit of different choices in plant material. So we got two crews out here this morning for demo, Bruce and his crew and Dave and his crew, and they'll be out here for the next 2 days, just pulling up material, getting prepped for the install of the new plant material. We also have our irrigation coming in this afternoon. She decided not to go with our company, which you guys always have that choice. It's up to you who you go with. She's got a friend of hers doing it. She's trying to give her some business. We're actually giving that to the neighbor. Apparently the neighbor wants those pinto palms to transplant. But anyway, back to the irrigation, guys. If you do decide to go with somebody else, the main thing to keep in mind is that the irrigation has got to be set up properly for your 6-month warranty. If the other company comes in and the irrigation's not set up right, then we can't warranty the plant. So again, we'll double check everything once our plants have gone in. But if you do choose to go with somebody else, that's up to you. Just make sure they do it right. We're on wrap-up day right now. Stacy is a realtor, so this was a really important job to make sure this was done correctly. It's all about how your house shows on camera. It's about how your house shows online if you're trying to sell. They're obviously not selling, but being a realtor, she knows the outside's really important. It adds value to your home as well. So with our plant choices, we kept it pretty simplistic. There's a lot of color towards the front. They're just finishing up out here now, as you can see. We've made this bed a little bit smaller. It's going to look a lot cleaner. And then our plant choices, if we look around here, we got a little bit of color as well. But we tried to keep it looking really clean. The kuntis that were up in here in these palms were actually transplant from the front doors. If you can see it here, the kuntis are a Florida native and they look really more in a natural area right here than they did up front. And as we get up, we did keep the bottle brush, which is a highlighted plant, really nice, attracts hummingbirds, but added some apostle iris, and we've got some roses and liriapine up by the front doors. We've added some ixora, some penta, and she already had some existing blue days. Now remember, we're very close to the beach, so again, everything's got to be salt tolerant. And the ixora is salt tolerant. It is a little bit not as cold hardy, but being here by the beach, it's a plant that we can choose, especially when it's that close to the front of the building, because this actually gets protected. If you come around here, I'm going to show you something else on the side that we did. Sometimes we have to design on the fly. We want to follow your plan as much as possible. It makes it a lot easier for the foreman, a lot easier for Dennis, thank you Dennis, who orders our plants. And if we have to change plans, it kind of puts everything in a bind, but he did a great job in helping me out, so thanks Dennis. But originally we had proposed that we were going to put some liriape and podocarpus over here, but we actually got enough of the orange bird of paradise from the backyard transplanting here, and it looks fantastic. They did a great job over here. So again, plans can change. We're very accommodating and flexible, and we get you guys involved as much as possible, because this was actually another idea that the homeowner had too, to fill this spot. So it ended up working out really well, and we utilized some of the plants elsewhere. Towards the back, guys, try to envision it was kind of just a bunch of stuff pushed all together. We want a little bit more symmetrical and a little bit more to block over from the neighbors. So this big bird of paradise here was actually in the corner over there, just lying on the ground. It had broken out of its pot, and these two guys were in. Hi! Come here! Here, how about I know you want to play. I know you. So anyway, back to work. So these two guys here were actually in pots, and we wanted to put them in the ground. So putting them together, eventually these will balance each other out, which is really good. Another thing when we do transplanting, guys, is some of your current plants that you've got, they will look a little sad at first. As you can see, this little hibiscus over here, but he's just going through a little bit of shock, plus it's a little bit cold, a little bit of time, lots of love and water, this guy will pop right back. But what we've added is some heliconia, which is false bird of paradise, for more tropical look, and some lantana, which is another hummingbird and butterfly plant, which is really bright and colorful. And then across here, we put a new queen in. There's existing queens here. There was one that wasn't doing so hot, so we replaced it over there, added some more bird of paradise, and again, more tropical stuff with the Haliconia and lantana. And we have one other little area. So down in here, guys, we have a lot of Asiatic jasmine. We had actually originally proposed to cut out a lot of this, but she really liked this little area here. So all we really did was highlight this big white wall and give it some interest with some podocarpus and some camellias, which are fantastic plants, guys. Camellias bloom from the fall through the winter into the early spring, and you don't see a lot of blooming plants that do that. Another area that got kind of added at the last minute was this little corner area here where we've added some more camellias. This is the Yuletide, which is really good for Christmas. It's a really dark green color and has a fantastic little color pink bloom, almost red, which kind of goes with the stromance underneath there. It's got a little bit of purpley pink under there. All right, guys, again, one really important fact that we give you guys a 6-month warranty. I wanted to bring that out. We can extend that for you to a year if you go with our maintenance program. The maintenance is basically you can do the lawn, you can do the shrubs, you can do all of it at one pop if you want, but you don't necessarily have to pick everything. But if you pick the shrubs, it's just super key because we're out here all the time, and that way we can afford to give you a year warranty versus a 6-month warranty because we're here monitoring the plants and making sure that they're okay. But in order to get that warranty, remember, you got to have your irrigation set up properly. That's really key because these brand new plants have to be watered at least once a day for the first 30 days. If that doesn't get watered properly, then we can't warranty our plants. So whether you decide to go with us as far as irrigation or someone else, you have to make sure your watering is proper this time when you're planting things.